Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Alicia Gogan, the host of the Glow Up Secrets podcast, where I help you expand your mind and become more self-aware so that you can glow up into the best version of yourself. Hello, how are we doing today? Well, I hope that we are doing better than we were when we started this podcast because I need to drive something home today to you guys, and that is I really need this next 6 months of your life to be about you. 100% all in. I need these next 6 months to be about you. Right now I'm recording in July, so we are literally dead set in the mid-year right now. But even if you're listening to this in a few months, this message will be for you for the next 6 months. So just trust that. But I have been feeling a really big call in my life, but also a very big, clear message from the universe. I like to say the universe, in which the overall theme and message that I keep getting, that I keep extracting out of these examples that I'm seeing in my own life, is that we need to radically self-love, radically accept ourselves, and radically chase ourselves. The reason why you are so aware of all the things you don't want in your life, why you are so distressed to the point where you can't focus in your day-to-day life and you're constantly thinking, does this person like me? Is this person going to choose me? Or you're literally seeing your worst fears manifest in your life, is because your attention and your relationship towards yourself has not been solid. When you find yourself in a situation where it is very clear that you are not getting chased by somebody, you have been doing the chasing. And what I mean by that is, even if you actually haven't taken that action, you are energetically chasing this person. You are thinking about them all day. You're anxious. You're wondering. You're waiting for somebody to make you happy. You're waiting for them to choose you. Or let's say you're not happy with the way that your body looks, or your health status right now, or even your work life. A lot of what you have right now is a result of the way you've been showing up for yourself. When you are not well, when you have gut health issues, when you have skin issues, when you are overweight, when you know you're not as healthy as you really want to be or you should be, a lot of the times it's the relationship that you've been having towards yourself. And this is not about blaming yourself if you get a disease or something that you had no idea about, or you have breakouts that you have no idea how to control. It's not about blaming yourself. But if we are to be very honest with ourselves, and I have had to be very honest with myself in the most loving way, when I had gut health issues, when I had skin issues, when I was not happy with my body, when I was not happy with my dating life or my money situation, a lot of these things were a result of the way I was showing up in my life. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you can't show up the way you want in your life, right? Maybe you're operating out of trauma, maybe you're really struggling in your life, or you don't have a lot of time, or whatever it is. These are real things, but at the end of the day, the things that you're not happy with in your life are a result of the way you have been showing up for yourself, aka the relationship that you have towards yourself. So if there's something in your life like not getting commitment, or stressing about the fact that you don't have what you want in your life when it comes to your health or your beauty or your bank account, these things are calling you to go deeper within yourself. These things are requiring you to finally love yourself and commit to yourself and show up for yourself. And coming back to a relationship example, I think this is very easy to see within many of us. I've totally been there. I see my friends go through these situations at times. And even you guys ask me all the time about dating advice. It is very easy to lose yourself in a relationship when you haven't had a relationship towards yourself, because when you don't have a relationship with yourself, you tend to not have a lot of confidence. And that is going to be reflected in the focus that you have in your life. So if you're focused on somebody not chasing you, if you're waiting around for somebody to commit to you, my question is, why is it that you would be somebody who waits for commitment? Why are you somebody who has to wonder if somebody's going to chase you? Why don't you know that you're the chosen one? Why don't you look at yourself like, yes, I would be chosen. Yes, I would be chased. This person would be out of their mind if they didn't chase me until the day that they die. Why don't you look at yourself like that? You don't look at yourself like that because you haven't been having a relationship towards yourself. You haven't been spending that time pouring into yourself. You haven't been reminding yourself yourself every single day that you are worthy, that you are good enough. But instead, you're putting your focus into sitting around and waiting for somebody else to tell you that you're good enough, that you're worthy of being chased. And that's never going to work. It is never going to work. And the ones that are actually getting chased, the ones that are actually being committed to, those are not the people who are sitting here and wondering if that's going to happen for them. And now you might think, oh, well, I've gotten commitment before, but if you struggle with this still, this self-concept thing, this confidence thing, this you not having a relationship towards yourself thing, most likely you got commitment from somebody that you knew was going to be easy to get commitment from, or it was going to be easy for them to chase, or you played a game, okay? And we're not talking about playing games, because we can play games all day with people, right? We know what we should say or what we shouldn't say, or how we should move, or how many times we should text somebody, or the right wording of this, or posting this many times to get them to chase us. But that's fake confidence. That's fake you not believing in yourself. That still has you having your energy on them by you thinking, what move can I make so that this person can like me? That's not what we're going to do anymore. Even when it comes to your health or job opportunities or whatever it is in your life, I want you to focus on building real confidence within yourself, to know that even when things aren't working out, even when your health seems a little bit up and down, that you know that you are going to get the result that you want, because you are showing up for yourself and you love yourself and you deserve this and you are going to get it. So this morning I made a new Spotify playlist. If you guys don't know, I make a lot of Spotify playlists and I share it with you guys and you love it. I'll have them linked down below. And this morning I titled it A Girly Pop Summer, because I feel like girly pop music is so in. Like Sabrina Carpenter, the Billie Eilish, honestly, I didn't want to love it, but Ariana Grande, she got some bangers. Dua Lipa, all of these really good artists. And one of the songs I added in this playlist was from Dua Lipa, and it's called Training Season. And when I listened to it, it's such a bop. Like, it's such a freaking good song. So definitely go check that out. But I was listening to it and she was saying training season is over. And it just, like, you know, when you hear something and it completely connects to the thing that you have been going through in your life, or the message that's been clearly in your face. This was it. And let me try to explain to you what I mean by training season is over. It is the middle of summer now. So yes, we have 6 months until the end of the year. I feel like the past 6 months has been a growth period, a very big growth period. At least for me, moving out of the winter, it was hard for me. I got myself out of a lot of dark places. I transformed in a lot of ways. I also invited just new things into my life, and I still am. Like, I'm doing things in a new way. I've learned a lot of different lessons in my life that I am now allowing to compound my life and to change me in different ways that I was not. I'm not going back to the old version of me last summer. I'm becoming a new version of me, but it's a better version of me. And I've spent the last 6 months really putting in that work. And when I mean putting in that work, some of those days were not work. Some of those days were living out cycles that I continued to try to get out of. And I've come to a point in my life right now, the mid-year reset, where I have completely been so sick and tired of cycles that I have been living out, that I'm at that point where like it's just a no-brainer to me that I'm no longer going to be living out certain cycles, because I know that it just does not serve me. And there's certain themes in my life that always come up, whether that's with love, with money, with self-confidence, whatever it is, that is going to require me in this period of my time to take everything that I have learned from the past 6 months, even the past year, but the past 6 months that I trained for, that I worked on, that I observed within myself, that I reflected on for so long, and that I was on an uphill battle like through, and finally apply it and live it out and take that action towards the best version of me. Because I know if I want the things that I want in my life, it is gonna require me to finally stop training and finally take action. We know the things that we need to do. We know the boundaries we need to set with people. We know what we deserve and what we do not. We know our patterns. We know what we do not want in our lives, but it's going to be up to us to finally Like finally take that action. And that is what I want this next 6 months to be for myself. And I want that to be for you guys. There's no more waiting. There's no more chasing other people. There's no more falling into those limiting beliefs that kept us stuck for so long. You know that shit is not real. You know that is not serving you. In this season of your life, I want you to continue to choose yourself over and over and over and over and over again. Like radically, and I mean radically choose yourself every single day, day in and day out, whether that is putting up a boundary to someone, removing yourself from situations that do not serve you, catching yourself when you're saying a negative belief, or you're confirming to yourself that you're not going to get what you want and telling yourself you are going to get what you want, catching yourself when you're chasing somebody, when you're waiting, when you're wondering, when your spotlight is on them, and bringing it back to yourself every single time. I'm not saying that this is going to be the most easy thing, but I'm going to say that this is something that is going to be required for you to get the thing that you keep crying about. You keep crying about the fact that you don't get commitment from people. You keep crying about the fact that, oh, things happen for a bit and then you lose them. You keep crying about the fact that you don't have what you want when it comes to looking in the mirror or having confidence or the money that you want. It is going to be up to you. Who else? Literally, who else? So I'm going to give you a few things that you can think about doing when it comes to moving into the next 6 months of your life. This is something that I've really done, and I feel like I'm really into new energy right now. And the first thing, I don't know where it just like popped out of my mind, but I'm calling it holding your vision, okay? I want you to get very clear on a few things that you want to drive home until it becomes normalized in your life. Understand when you're trying to change or you're trying to level up, you need to be consistent with that thing until it becomes normalized. And being consistent can be whatever it means to you, right? Like it could be a daily thing. It could be depending on what it is that you are obviously wanting, but I want you to hold that vision in front of your face until you get that. So currently in my season of life right now, I'm really focusing on growing my podcast. So that is a thing that is so front and center of my vision in my life that I'm not taking my eyes off of it until I accomplish that thing. Also, when it comes to my fitness, that is something that I'm very much so holding because it's just something that's important to me. It's something that I want. And I know when I have fitness and moving my body and wellness in general, front and center, I am always so aligned. I always feel better about myself. Like you can't tell me that being a wellness girl does not make you feel the best you've ever felt. So that's something that I'm continuing to hold. And another one for me is my dream home. I am really wanting my dream home, you guys know, and that requires a lot of attention and a lot of focus. And that also requires me to move in different ways when it comes to my work. And so I have, for certain pieces of content, I'm really interested in making different pieces of content moving into the new season of my life. This is mainly just for short form, but there's a few things in my life right now that I'm really holding a vision to. So I want you to think of the person you want to be, the feeling that you want to feel every single day, and I want you to only be in that energy. So something that I really like to do when I'm getting very clear on my vision is to create a vision board. This is different than a mood board. I already created a mood board for the summer and I made it on my main channel. So I can link that video down below if you're just like wanting an aesthetic summer and you want to have like this fun, like moody Pinterest board. I like making those as well for my wallpapers and stuff, but I wanted to make an actual vision board of a few things, a few pictures essentially that really reflect the next 6 months that I want to be living by. So a few things on my vision board. Maybe you know what I'll do is just I'll show it on the screen. I guess you can only see this if you are watching on YouTube. So if you're on audio, maybe you want to come here and see. But if you follow me on Instagram, then you've probably already seen it. There's just a few photos that emulate this feeling of what it is that I'm trying to hold. So obviously mine's not going to look like yours, but I have things on this vision board that resemble exactly what I want, which is my new home, which is wellness. There's a lot of focused work, as you can see, the laptops, the books, a podcasting studio or a podcasting mic. There's a YouTube plaque. There's just a few things that really give me this clear cut vision of what I am really living out right now in my life, but I want to continue to have that in the forefront of my mind. And I created even like a smaller wallpaper for my phone to have on there. So that is front and center. So I just want you to think about your vision that you have, the things that you really want, and I want you to drive it home. The dream relationship that you want, the dream job, the dream whatever, it is going to require you to really hold this vision and for you to take that action. And bringing it back to the relationship that you have towards yourself is everything. This is where I want you to be spending time with yourself, because I was talking to my friend about this relationship towards herself, and how she's realizing, oh, she doesn't really necessarily have, or she hasn't really cultivated that relationship towards herself. She's kind of lost herself a little bit, which we always do, especially when we're dating somebody, or in general, like when life is not maybe the most exciting. And this is why I think it's important to have a vision. But this is what I want you to be doing, and this is what I'm doing for myself. When I'm having a relationship towards myself, I have goals, I have things to do. So instead of me wasting my time wondering if this person's going to choose me, wondering why I'm not being treated the way that I need to be treated, why I'm not getting certain things in my life, I'm too busy focusing on my vision. Get busy with your vision, get busy with your life. And when it comes to your daily habits should be connected to your bigger vision. So like I said, for me, I'm creating a schedule where I'm getting up and I'm making my content. I'm making my short form content. I'm making my podcast episodes. Like, I'm showing up every single day. I'm doing the things that I need to do. And I'm being very clear with that. I'm even actually, after this podcast is done, I'm going to sign up for a new gym membership, because this is a beautiful gym. You don't need to go, spend a lot of money to try and change your life at all. You really don't. But for me, I just really wanted that call. And maybe I'll explain it in a different episode as to why I'm like changing gyms and stuff like that. But regardless, I'm just doing some energetic shifts. Maybe for you, it's just you're moving around your space, or again, you're creating a mood board. Another thing that's really, really important in this time that I think that can really drive it home for you for the next 6 months is finding expanders. And expanders are basically a term that To Be Magnetic, which is a manifestation podcast, they came up with, or maybe they didn't come up with this, but they talk about it all the time, expanders. And that is finding people who have what you want, finding people who resemble even yourself, just people who you really align to. Now, I've found that watching YouTubers and podcasters and going on Pinterest has always really helped me hold my vision. It's not to say that people in my immediate life don't motivate me or inspire me, but I also think that a lot of people who listen to my podcast, like you guys are the outliers. You guys are unique and very special, and you most likely are gonna need a specific type of person, or this niche topic, or this, I don't know, this vibe or this aesthetic that you're gonna need to really help you hold this vision, because you have a vision that's bigger than most people around you. So it's not to say that you can't seek out people in your immediate life or in real life to help motivate you. I actually think that that's really healthy, and there's power in both. There's some things that you're never ever going to be able to get from me that you could get from a one-on-one interaction in real life, of course. So I never want you to think that nobody in your immediate life or nobody in real life will ever help you. Please don't, because I think it's very, very helpful. And also it allows you to be a very diverse type of person, and a real smart, in my personal opinion, person, if you know how to actually go out into the world and you're not just somebody who's chronically online. But for the time being, I'm sure you can find somebody who you really look up to. I feel like throughout my years, there was definitely YouTubers and podcasters that I really looked up to, and I listened to all of their things, and I stayed focused on them. I stopped listening to people who weren't talking about the things that I really felt called to or didn't motivate me, people who were complaining about shit that didn't really help me in any sort of way. I really just kept my eyes on the prize, and I stopped wasting my time on consuming people's lives that they just didn't have what I wanted. And I think around these times is when I dive headfirst into Pinterest, because the truth is, at least for me, I'm a content creator and I'm on my phone, and I really try to make use of my time the best way I can when I'm on my phone. So, I mean, I think I do a good job with this, because really I'm creating a lot more than I'm consuming. But if you aren't a creator, I would like you to consider how much you're consuming versus creating, and I don't actually mean you becoming a content creator if that's not what you want to do, but think about it's either like you're consuming a lot of content and other people get to live their lives and you're just constantly consuming it, or you're actually taking maybe some inspiration, you're going out and you're living your life and you're making a beautiful life for yourself and you're connecting to yourself and you're living your own, beautiful life. So just consider that. But if you are going to consume, what type of content are you consuming? And for me, I love to spend time on Pinterest because I can curate that feed to really match my vision. I can only look at those photos that remind me to go to the gym or remind me to keep working hard for my goals when it comes to my podcast, or the type of suburban lifestyle that I want to live, versus if I go on Instagram and I'm looking at 10 people's lifestyles and somebody has a suburban home and then somebody has a beautiful condo in New York and somebody lives on a farm and then somebody, whatever, right? There's all of these opinions, there's all of these styles of living, but the truth is, a lot of these things are not aligned to where I'm trying to go. And I don't want to forget that. And in this life, you will forget your own goals because there's so many people pushing so many things. And it's not about demonizing. It's not even about comparing. It's not even about saying that you're better than these people, but it's like, I need to choose myself, coming back to the fact that the next 6 months are going to be about you. You have to choose your own goals and what you want for yourself. So if I go on Instagram and I'm consuming everyone else's lifestyles, that's not me choosing myself. That's not me choosing the suburban home that I want. That's not me choosing the fitness that I want or the workouts that I want or the X, Y, and Z. So just be careful with the things that you're consuming. If you are consuming it, have it aligned to the vision that you're trying to hold in your life. There's so much noise outside of yourself, essentially, and you're going to have to just kind of be the one to create some healthy boundaries over your mindset and your vision for your life. Now, something that is very crucial, and I always talk about this, but it is your mental diet. Now, what I just talked about is a part of your mental diet, but I would highly, highly suggest during this time, especially during this time when you're trying to call in new things in your life, is you get really good at having a daily practice of healthy beliefs and making sure that you're looking at yourself in a beautiful way and driving home, again, the goals that you want to accomplish to yourself every single day. I do this by waking up every single morning and journaling. I journal out things that I really want in my life, things that are happening. I write sometimes out in ways that are like I am statements. So I am a podcaster who is super successful with what she does. My life is compounding and I keep getting better and better every single day. I am beautiful. I am the most unique person that this person has ever met. I am chosen. I get exactly what I want. The men that I date choose me. Whatever it is that I need to work on, whatever it is that I want to drive home, I only speak to myself that way. No longer speaking to yourself in a way that is negatively self-obsessed will do you absolute wonders. You are so committed to talking to yourself like shit. You are so committed to pointing out all your flaws. This is the time where you get to practice speaking to yourself nicely. And quite frankly, when you catch yourself chasing somebody, wondering if they're going to pick you, you don't have those thoughts. You don't, because if you did, when you, let's say for whatever reason, because you're a human being, if somebody's doing something and you kind of think, oh, well, why aren't they chasing me? You know that you're the chosen one. So I'm not even going to get myself wrapped up over here because I know the truth about me and I am good enough. I accept myself. I am exactly the way that I want to be. I'm showing up and I'm hitting my goals and I'm doing the things that I want to do. So if you don't have those thoughts, you need to start having a practice to have those thoughts. And I have people ask me all the time, well, how do you think like that? How do I change my thoughts? You changed it through practice. You don't even have a practice. Again, you're not even committed to yourself. You're not committed to the daily practice of speaking to yourself nicely, but you are committed to having a daily practice of focusing on every single thing that you don't want in your life. You're so committed to speaking to yourself negatively every single day and pointing out your flaws. How do you think that you're going to change your mindset? You're going to have to commit to the opposite. And of course, when you want to feel like you are unstoppable, that you can't be replaced, that you're going to get exactly what you want in your life, that confidence also does come from true action, right? So those daily habits, what am I doing in the morning? Do I have a morning routine? What am I doing for the majority of my day? Am I going to work? Am I working on a side thing after work? Where am I putting my time and my energy? Am I putting too much time into somebody and I'm losing myself over here? Am I putting too much time into friendships that are not serving me? Do I need to remove myself from certain things and put myself in different places. What is it that I need to do? Look at your habits, and your habits will directly correlate to the things that are happening in your life. It's actually quite simple. Even when it comes to your health or your beauty or your whatever, how many times a day do you spend actually taking care of yourself when it comes to your self-care, or cleaning your space, or making healthy meals for yourself? Where is that time for yourself? And you're wondering why you feel so shit. You're wondering why people are not choosing you. You're not choosing yourself. And the last thing that I really want you to think about is moving in the direction that feels the best to you on a moment-to-moment basis, okay? Not every single day is going to feel good. Not every single day you have the freedom to choose what feels good, right? You gotta sometimes do the things that feel a little bit hard, but I would like you to think about the things that do make you feel the most excited about life, and go into that direction more, because you will find a lot more alignment and ease, and you will be more happy in your life, and you'll be happy with yourself. So finding a routine that actually works for you versus you forcing yourself to do a routine that really, really feels very resistant. And I actually talked about this in last week's episode about taking the path of least resistance when you do have those down days, and just honoring yourself, and, realizing that life doesn't need to be so serious. And some of the best things that you will attract in your life are going to come from a place of true happiness and fulfillment. So if you need to take a break, or if you need to go do that workout class versus the weight training workout that you keep telling yourself you have to do at 6 a.m. every single morning, if you need to take a break from that and you need to go and do something, or you got to go out with your friend that night, or you got to stay in that weekend, go do it. Honor yourself. Honor yourself every single day as much as you can. And honoring yourself also means allowing yourself to have those bad days, allowing yourself to cry, allowing yourself to feel your feelings, allowing yourself to spiral, and just knowing that you're going to be fine after you spiral, and that you did not mess anything up. You did not ruin your goals. You didn't ruin your relationship. You didn't ruin the relationships you have towards yourself because you quote unquote made a mistake. That's not how it works. That is not how real unconditional love is. Unconditional love is accepting yourself, loving yourself, and choosing yourself over and over and over again. So I just wanted to send you guys that message, because that's what I'm going to be doing in my life. This is very potent in my current reality right now. I'm really seeing that reflected in so many examples with other people, but also even myself. It's just like this huge call to keep choosing yourself. And even if you've been choosing yourself, because I have, I really am always kind of choosing myself. I also live alone. I've also spent so much time alone and really cultivating a relationship with myself. I think my relationship with myself is so beautiful, and I'm so, so proud of myself for having this type of relationship. But I think that regardless, there's always going to be deeper seasons, deeper layers of something that you can get to. And I feel like in my life right now, it's so apparent with things that are popping up in my life. It's almost like tests, It's like if something's not really fully exactly the way that you want in your life, but you're almost there. It's almost like it keeps happening and you're kind of frustrated, or you're almost there and you kind of see that light, but it's just it's not there yet. Perfect. Use that as evidence to show yourself that you're going to get exactly what you want. But in order for you to get exactly what you want, it's going to require you to show up differently. And that's where I'm at right now in my life. So I'm going to continue to do that. I hope you guys do that too. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.